Looks like a good group tonight. So we'll get started. I'm going to start with a prayer. And we'll go ahead and have you put the people in that you want the prayer to be for. So we'll start with Jane.
You want to say your prayer first? Did you say?
No, yeah, we're going to do the prayer first, and
Right.
I want you to say who you want to receive energy during the prayer.
Okay. My sister, of course, my family, my friends, some friends, Kathy and Denny lost their son recently. And I'll just say the world, the Middle East, Ukraine, all that. Yeah.
Tori?
Same thing. I send my prayers to Ukraine and also the Israeli-Palestinian situation.
Good. Joyce?
I would like to, for myself and my husband, for the world, and for my sister and her family, and my girlfriend Pam and her family. Thank you.
Teresa?
My family, my son's families, George, Carl, and Kira. Thank you.
And you too, Rosalind? We can't hear you, dear.
Can you hear me now? Okay, my family, extended family, and out into all communities of the world and the universe and below. Everybody be lifted up in more peace and joy and better vibration. Hey, that's it.
I would like to say prayers for Roz, again, for our friends and family, and for all people in harm's way, nature made or human made, and healing to our earth and to our hearts and our spirits and our minds. Peace.
Good. Douglas?
To my family and our pets as part of that family.
Neil? Can't hear you, Neil.
My neighbor Athena, Beth, all of the people in the Middle East, including I've got a cousin who may or may not be there now and has sons who fight in the Israeli military. My uncle and aunt Herb and Lorraine, and the people in Ukraine.
And Wendy?
Hi. I'd like to put everyone here this evening. Certainly my soul group, Drigo and his soul group, our clients.
And Michelle and Matt?
So for my sister Judy and her husband Tom, and
Michelle and Matt first.
Okay.
And then I'll come to you, the other Michelle. Sorry. Your names are exactly the same. And sorry, you see, I still don't have, I'm still snaggled too. So I'm working on it, trying to get the play. But I don't have it yet. So sorry about that. I just keep smiling and snaggle too.
As long as you're smiling.
Yeah.
You
Still
are
doing that. Michelle.
You're adorable. So prayers for you, prayers for each of us.
Margot, Matt, Ermi, our kitty, Carla and her family, and for the world, as everyone is saying. Go ahead.
The planet and all its inhabitants.
And Michelle.
For my sister Judy, her husband Tom, my sister Patty, and all the conflicts going on in the world today.
Right. And Ralph.
My family and extended family, and the Israel-Palestine conflict on all sides, and all of those feeding dark energies feeding into that, to lighten them up and overcome those issues, Ukraine and any place else in the world where divine grace is needed. Thank you.
Maria.
Hello.
Hey there.
I'd like to include in this circle my friends and family and my work family, and especially my friend Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, how are you?
And who would you like to include?
To pray for. I'd like to pray for my best friend and soul sister, Maria. And I'd like to pray for my family, my patients that I see, and for healing.
Thank
For
you.
yourself. And for myself, I have to say that right now too.
All right.
And so hopefully my dogs won't get in the way here.
Oh,
My
they
bug
can
is
have
very
some.
interested.
They can have some of the energy as well. Joe?
I'd like to pray for the animals that are affected by the world situations, as well as the people. For Betty and her family, and for my family, and for Zen, and for little Elizabeth and her family. Thank you.
And Barb? Can't hear you, dear.
There. I'd like to pray for Molly and Damien and Jack and my friend JK. I also pray that people wake up and recognize so that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Good. And Tim?
For my younger daughter Erica and her husband Randy Jones, for Sarah and Alex Levinson and their 3 grandkids, and of course my little fur baby Scarlet.
She okay?
Yeah, she's good. Happy as a clam.
And Donna? She ought to be for that pile of bones.
Oh, exactly.
Donna?
I would like to include my family and the earth from the devastation that wars cause to the earth, and also to American politicians to find resolution.
Sounds like a good one to me. All right. Divine Infinite Spirit, thank you for being with us, for being one with us. We ask that we are clear, centered, grounded, balanced, aligned, connected, and filled with light, love, peace, and joy. We ask for the help of the ascended beings, the masters, the guides, the angels. Everyone is here, guides, the nature spirits, the council members, in particular, I call on the Peace Council. We ask for energy from divine source. And we ask that everyone mentioned, everyone gathered here, and the whole world receives healing energy. Okay, I feel it running into diabetes, into kidney problems, into relationship issues, into anxiety and depression, into some physical conditions that have to do with heart, with liver, gallbladder, spleen, digestive tract, glandular dysfunction, blowout, arthritis, number of hip, knee, and shoulder issues, hands, some of you will feel your cervical spine align, and then your lower back. Work some feet, blow, It's working on ears, being able to hear better. Eyes, eye muscles, sinuses, a lot of sinuses. Neuropathy, blowout, is there someone who has someone in their life who is delusional?
I have clients that are.
Well, it's running into people who have delusions. Blowout, blow, and it's also working with some people who can't quite get their feet on the ground. It's like they don't totally live in the reality that's around them. It's working on thyroid, parathyroid, blow, congestive heart failure. I don't think that's any of you, but it is someone you know, somebody knows. And there are big releases from damaged ego structures. Crown is clearing. More clearing out of the ears. More being in tune with yourself and others and with waves of the future. Being able to sense how things will turn out. So that you don't worry so much. Blow out. And blow. There is grief, the clearing of grief. Sometimes going back a very long time. Some of it fresher. Some people grieving their children. Some people grieving spouse. Some people grieving parents and other relatives that have passed on. Some people grieving the fact that they haven't gotten what they wanted out of life. Blowout. More release of anxiety. More returning to center. And we're going to raise the vibration even more. Going higher. And we're going to take a journey to the Middle East. And I want you as a group to begin to work on clearing the land. There's so much hate sitting in that land that people step their foot on it and they become filled with hate. And there is cause, at least in the eyes of the people who live there, on both sides. So we want to break the cycle of hatred as much as they will allow us to. Many of them like living in hate because it suits them. So we're going to ask for light to sweep through those people. Let me know when you can feel that. And we're asking for transformative energy to flow into the land that is so steeped in this juice of hate. It's been absorbing it for thousands of years. And we ask that the poison be pulled out. Let me know when you can feel it release. So Wendy, what are you sensing? Did you have a question?
Well, there's so much hate in the rest of the world that's also adding their energies to it. So even doing that small area with the amount of hate, even from this country alone.
We'll get there.
Okay.
What do you sense as we work on it?
Well, they're starting to make shifts. It's an intense situation, and I'm thrilled to be a part of helping them. But you're right. They've got to want it.
So we're asking that they be helped to want it. That at some point they become tired of the hatred. Tori.
Yeah, I just wanted to put a prayer into something practical, which is the water, electricity, and food has been cut off from all of Palestine, 2.3 million people. They're out of water in the shelters. The hospitals are running out of electricity. It's really dire. And the United Nations has condemned it. President Biden is asked to have restraint and act in accordance with the guidelines of war. So I'd like to send prayers to turn that water and electricity and heat back on, and for humanitarian aid to be able to be sent in.
Well, then send the energy for it.
Okay.
We're sending sweeping waves of energy across the land. It goes like that through the soil and above in the atmosphere. And there is change on the horizon.
Wanda?
Yes.
During Reiki share yesterday, I got a download that we need to help the ancient souls and the disembodied to transition. And that earth is holding a whole lot of disembodied souls from ancient times. And that is being held in the earth. So that also needs to be released. If we can help some of those disembodied souls cross.
Right, the ones who can't let go of it.
Right. There were a lot.
So you're going to have a lot of people stuck in their anger from the past and living in a kind of hell, churning, churning, churning. And you're going to see a mass release. We're also asking for energy to run to the Israelites because they feel like they have been persecuted forever. And this is one more persecution of them. And they don't want any more persecution. But this is not the way to not be persecuted. So we ask for healing of the collective soul of the people of the Jewish people who feel like they've always been persecuted and antagonized, and who feel like they will lose everyone if they don't stand up and be aggressive. It's continuing to release those souls who stayed there angry. It's working on the hearts of the Jewish people. And then it's working on the hatred of terrorists. People who would slaughter innocent people, which sounds like it's pretty much all of them. We're also asking that people that would kill a 6-year-old child, attack a mother and child in their home and kill a 6-year-old child in the United States that has nothing to do with the war, just because of his ethnicity, that hatred be stamped out everywhere. That there is a movement across the land, this land, all the land, the earth, that innocence is not touched. Because that is the way to keep people from becoming radicalized. Blowout. Douglas, what do you feel?
I was earlier feeling that sweeping energy you described, and it was breaking things up a little bit to shake it up so that it starts loosening up. And then I saw individuals kind of waking up to the reality that, like, what am I doing? Why do I want this to propagate on? And so I saw that energy waking more people up to say, this is ridiculous to stay in this pattern, these same patterns. And I felt a lot of the releases and that toxic energy coming out of the earth, out of the people. And I also wanted to bring in the idea that also whatever's behind all this, perhaps that needs some energy too, because to me, it feels like there's more behind all this. It's not just those people, it's other people behind the curtain, so to speak, the instigators that are standing back and not, in the midst of this.
Oh no, it's all the people in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
It's also about religious prejudices,
Mm-hmm.
but that's only a tiny portion of it. So there is an outpouring from God. It's like a downpour of divine grace and mercy, kindness. Because people need to join hands and work together. Blow out.
I also saw the like pillars of light going into the earth over there, like lighthouses being planted in the earth.
Yeah, I saw something similar, like seeds of peace being planted, life being planted instead of death.
Mm-hmm.
And the image of death is being pulled away. There's been so much death. And it's just sucking up the death. Blow. How many people can feel that? There's a lot of it, so it's going to take a little time, but it is sucking up death. Let it be about life, not death. Hi, welcome. We're working on war-torn places. Blow out. Ralph, what are you feeling?
I see that there's other Israels throughout the galaxy, and that those energies are coming in, and that kind of at the center is a symbol of Israel, which is trying to clarify it, but it's the highest principle of which Israel is upon this earth. And it has the ability to radiate peace and heal and stand for the highest principles of the divine. So that's one of the things I've been focused on, is working to purify and clarify that, so that people who already innately know it can identify with it and radiate what it stands for. Anyway, I could go on, but that's for that aspect, that's it.
I would like for you all to look at the crossroads where Israel has a choice, where Palestine has a choice, where everyone has a choice to make. And gather up the forces from other dimensions and other planes that are needed to help them make the right decisions. And then send that energy to everyone who can make a difference. Yes, Tori. Yes, Tori.
Yeah, so I'm feeling Shireen Abu Akleh and Nelson Mandela working with us. Shireen Abu Akleh was a Christian Palestinian journalist that got killed in Palestine, and everybody knows who Nelson Mandela is. And what Douglas was referring to is like behind the scenes, they're kind of sending energy to places like Iran and Putin and the Sudan troop he sent in to reinforce Hamas. So they're kind of cleaning up the behind the scenes evildoers.
Yes, I knew what he meant.
Yeah, okay.
And also realizing that some of those people don't think they're evildoers. Some of those people think they're righteous. And the other
That's correct. That's Iran. I don't know about Putin and the Sudan troops, though, his Wagner group. I don't know. I don't think they feel that way.
they don't feel misguided. They think everyone else is, or the people who don't believe the way they do are misguided.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as simple as them being evil. They don't think they're evil. They think they're doing the right thing. So we're asking that everyone be faced with what is the real right thing. What is the right thing that is in everyone's best interest? And what choice can be made?
Right, bringing peace to the area.
Yes.
But I think what Doug was talking about is they're trying to clean up the sneakiness behind it all. Like
Right.
things, it's being
The
funded.
other parties, yes.
Yeah, being funded, and yeah.
Go out. Cindy, what are you feeling? What about you, Rodrigo? Can everybody hear me okay? Jane?
Wanda, can you hear me?
Very clear.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Did you want me to go now or Rodrigo?
We asked Rodrigo first, so let him go and then we'll come back to you, Jane.
Fine, whatever you want.
Wanda, as we're working, I started recalling that in my life, I've been able to experience really profound hate. I lived in South Africa when apartheid ended. I was in Vietnam and I saw tremendous hate. I lived in Cyprus, which is a divided nation that still has conflict between the North and the South. I traveled through the Deep South during the worst days of segregation. And I've worked and lived in Palestine and in Israel. So I've seen this very close, very personal. And it feels completely different than all the other cases because we're talking about coexistence. And I think that's the message we need to send, that everyone needs to be able to coexist. There cannot be a vanquished or a victor. There has to be coexistence for this to work.
Because no one wins otherwise.
That's right. That's
There
right.
is no victor.
And
No one wins that.
and we're talking about occupying the same space that needs to be occupied by everyone. So that's the message I'd like to introduce.
Peaceful coexistence. Harmonious coexistence. Better choices for stability. Better allocation of resources. More fairness and equity. And Jane?
I agree with Rodrigo 100%. I've been to a few of those places. But mostly when you were talking, I was trying to absorb the healing, and I started out with a very, very tense body. And as we went on, it got less tense, less tense, less tense. And then I also saw very sort of a golden white light spreading far and wide. And what that meant to me was healing. What that meant. And in terms of my body, I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed now. So, yeah.
Well, this is a pivotal moment. So let's ask that we all choose wisely, all of us, the whole world, everybody. Let's turn back hate all over the globe. Let's shine, shine, shine. And offer a different perspective. And I feel the light spreading. It's moving around the world. We're also asking that the real truth, the truth for everyone's souls, that truth that is the truth for every soul, that be revealed to everyone, that souls come to see what we could have. That souls become aware and that the call of the souls and the light bodies get to work. Many people feel that. Oh goodness, I got Jimmy Carter staring me in the eyes. I guess he's agreeing. Also see Abraham like father of Isaac. And he's saying this was never intended from him, that he would not have had this come about. And he wants Israel to stand tall and honorable. And to be led by God, not broken people. And he is saying peace, peace, peace. For we are all brothers. We're all descended from the same place. And God is God is God. No matter what name you use. Blow out. Does anybody else have anything to add? Michelle. Porter Will.
So when we first started, I could see a lot of hot spots and it was a lot of heat. And then what I saw was like vapors that come off the earth. You know, when there's cool and warm blending. So I saw the vapors coming up and it was almost like a cloudy look. I still see the hot spots, but they aren't near what they were. Then I started to see green going throughout the land and then gold underneath that. And then I saw a lot of angelic beings that started really coming in and surrounding. And right now what I'm seeing are the angelic beings are like pulling back or like they're I don't know how to describe it. They're like peeling back to expose the God energy. And when you mentioned God coming in, I definitely sensed all that. So there, I don't see, like I did see early on, the red. I see more of blues, and I definitely see whites in there. And the angelic beings have stepped back even further throughout the globe and have just peeled back the vision of the God light. And I can also feel a collective voice being worked on. I could feel it in my throat, but I could sense that it is the collective voice to sing out praises and just to recognize the beauty that all of us are a part of, from whence we come.
You bring tears to my eyes.
Oh. I definitely saw Archangel Michael stepping in, and I know some of the other archangels are there, their presence also. But Archangel Michael is ready for battle and ready to expose the divine within.
And to expose what is not truth.
Mm-hmm.
Blow out.
My mom was just used to love to crochet through most of her life. And what I was seeing was white light being sewn into all of these dark places, like this delicate crochet, just networking through all the dark spaces. So that was a pretty cool thing to witness in my mind's eye.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. I saw Moses, and Moses is like, whoa, they're still out in the desert. They're still lost. They haven't reached the promised land. And Moses also said, God, the Jews were God's chosen people, and they need to stand up and be that for the world. We should be looking up and having a good example. And I had another thought too. I taught history. After World War II, the Middle East was carved up. Iran and Iraq didn't exist. Their tribal culture was destroyed from under them. The Kurds and Palestinians were left with no home. So I can see why they're angry. I mean, that has not been resolved. That was 75 years ago. And that has a lot of the European ego tied up in it. Why couldn't they have decided to just, set aside some land for these people, both groups?
Yeah, so that's interesting because Britain apparently had a lot to do with it because they were occupying 1917 to 1948.
Mm-hmm.
And so they negotiated the deal for Israel. Mm-hmm. But also what was concerning was when the Palestinians didn't have any land, none of the Arabs would take them. So that's how the refugee camp started. Like,
Gaza.
So a lot of meddling fingers that didn't take into consideration everyone's needs. So now is the time to take into consideration everyone's needs and give these people a place to live. Blow out. Let's heal the festering wound. and let's provide forgiveness to those who thought they were helping in their own way and didn't necessarily help as much as they thought. So no blame. No blame for anyone. Just love and understanding. Because when we blame, we become like the very people we're blaming. Just pure, pure love. It is the source of miracles. May everyone have what they need. May all people be blessed. May people learn to be satisfied with enough. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You might say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join me and the world will live as one. And from the Middle East, all that light spreads, it's going everywhere. It's like waves. And each of us is being touched by it as well. Peace in our hearts. No anxiety over the future. Because it can only work out according to plan. And us being here right now, paying attention, is part of the plan. So there's a whole bunch of that energy going to Ukraine and Russia. coming here to this country. To Mexico, to South America. It's all through Africa, Asia, Australia, Europe. And there is a sound as the energy forms this ball around the earth. Like a clap as it meets at the top of the earth. And it does some healing for the atmosphere, the physical atmosphere. So the earth is giving birth to a new iteration of itself. It will become a different place. And those who cannot go with it will fall away. And it will be as it should be. Blessed be. Does anybody want to say a closing prayer? Michelle, would you like to? Michelle, not Porter Will. Would you like to say it?
Sure. Spirit gods, angels, archangels come together to support us and bring peace to the world by bringing peace to our hearts and our souls. Amen.
That is the most important thing. If you're at peace, the rest of the world will be too. Love you all so much. Donna, how are we on time?
We have 17 minutes.
Oh, do we supposed to go to 9?
9?
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Well, I got time to do some more healing on everybody. All right. Sorry, I was thinking it ended at 4 up. My fault. So I'm just going to send out waves of healing energy to everybody. Whatever ails you, got some headaches, taking vices off of people's head from tension, alleviating the effects of stress. Somebody's really got an aching knee. Whose knee hurts? Is putting a lot of energy into that knee. Blow out. And all of us are clearing of having heard so much news lately. most of which didn't seem so good. But we will get to where we need to be. All of us. And everyone on earth will go there together. Blowout. Unless we choose to leave the earth and come back to it anew. So the stresses of daily living just continue to fall off of people. Nervous systems are supported, brains. The shock and trauma of hearing about it, worrying about it, stressing over it. Not only what's happening in the news, but what's happening in your daily life, what's happening with your health, with that of your neighbors and your kids and your lot of kids, I'm feeling, even though those kids are probably in their 40s. Blowout. I'm also feeling called upon to work on Oklahoma. Why Oklahoma? They're not telling me that. But it needs energy. It's to prevent something or to push it back. As you send energy to Oklahoma, I'll keep sending energy to all of you. You're going to raise the vibration of everyone. Blow out. You all look like you went supernova. It's like, whoosh. Like an exploding star. Whose jaw hurts? It's getting a jaw. It's getting more than one jaw. Some of you are gritting your teeth. A lot of you grit your teeth. So it's getting your jaw, it's getting people who grit their teeth. And it's working on sleep. Some people have interrupted sleep. It's also downloading a painkiller. A really strong painkiller. Blow out. I look at that crossroads again in the dimension where we make choices and can see the pathways. And people are already making choices that will take us in the right direction. And energy comes up from the fuel that's used in string theory to fuel everything, all the strings in string theory that are the energy that supports the universe and each of us. And energy is coming up through you from there. And filling you up and recharging yourselves, and then spiking out of you and recharging your subtle bodies and recharging your etheric fabric and recharging how you stand in reality, consolidating more of you together so that you're a stronger and brighter presence in 3D reality. How many people can feel that? It's very strong. Then we're all going to be pulled into the flow of life, the originating life force flow. That gushed out when this universe was born. And this is going to fill us up. And gift us. The lights will get turned back on, Tori. May not be as soon as you hope, but it will be soon enough. And humanitarian aid will begin to pour into the area. Because there are many kind people in the world. Blow out. and you're harmonizing. How many can feel yourself vibrating? Things are equalizing within you. And you're all getting infinity flows. Your cervicothoracic distributor is working overtime. There's so much light pouring in, and it's dumping it down into your sacral distributor, which is going to just fill up like buckets and start the flow of that distributor so that all your colors come online. Brilliant, beautiful, multiple shades, every color you can imagine. You may feel color begin to run out of your hands and feet. It's for you to use, to create with, to paint on your canvas. There's also an enhancing of the ability to manifest, which is a little bit different than creation. As it is instantaneous, or nearly so. And everyone is being sealed. So let me ask you, was this good working on the Middle East tonight? All right.
Yes. Wanda, I sort of have a message about Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about ethnic cleansing and separating people. What came to my mind was the Trail of Tears. That energy I picked up, there's a lot of that very sad energy still on that trail.
Good. Good to know. I'm also sensing there's some storms coming that are going to be very hard on Oklahoma. So let's try to mitigate that. If everyone would pray for Oklahoma and help mitigate these storms. All righty. How we doing, Donna?
2 minutes.
It's time.
All right.
59.
Love you all.
I love you back.
Wanda, thank you.
Love you,
Thank you, Wanda.
Love all
everyone.
of you, every one of you, and love seeing you every time. I feel so close and warm with you.
Love you
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.